The night was calm across the planet, a soft quiet covering every city and every village. People slept, machines hummed, and the world moved in its usual slow rhythm. No one knew that everything would change in the next few seconds. No one knew that something impossible was about to happen. At 2:13 a.m., every screen on Earth turned black. Phones, TVs, tablets, billboards, even old devices that had not worked for years suddenly powered up again. For 1 second, the world froze. Then a message appeared, glowing in bright white letters. Humanity, command the Earth to rise. People woke up to the strange light inside their rooms. Some thought it was a glitch, some thought it was a prank, and some were too tired to care. But as the message repeated again and again, fear spread like a wave. Governments tried to take control. Emergency meetings began in underground bunkers. Scientists rushed to examine the signal. But they all ran into the same problem: the message did not come from any satellite, any server, or any known source. It came from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. In a quiet research station in the mountains, a scientist named Mara was studying ground vibration data. She had been awake for 2 days already, working on a project that now felt very unimportant. When the message appeared on her monitor, she stared at it for a long time. Then something else caught her eye. The vibration graphs were changing. The Earth was shaking, not like an earthquake, but like something deep underground was reacting to the message. Mara zoomed in on the data. Every continent showed the same pattern. A slow pulse, steady, rising, almost like a heartbeat. The Earth itself was answering. She whispered, "This can't be real." Before she could call anyone, a second broadcast flashed across all screens. "They are coming. Rise before they arrive." This time, the voice was different. Deep, ancient, and filled with warning. People around the world stopped whatever they were doing and listened. No one spoke. No one breathed. Who was coming? Why did Earth need to rise? What was the meaning behind this command? The skies offered the first clue. All around the planet, cameras captured strange lights, thin burning streaks cutting through the atmosphere. At first, people assumed they were meteors. But within seconds, fear replaced curiosity when the streaks changed direction. Meteors never turned. Meteors never moved like living things. Military radars began to scream with alarms. Unidentified objects were dropping from orbit. Dozens. Hundreds. And they were silent. Too silent. Mara watched the live news helplessly as cities across the world showed the same scene, dark shapes entering the atmosphere without heat signatures, without sound, without any sign of propulsion. They were not falling. They were descending. She ran outside the research station and looked up at the night sky. Under the moonlight, she saw it clearly, a giant shape moving behind the thin clouds, blocking the stars. A ship. No, a whole fleet. Her breath caught in her throat. These things were not human. They were not friendly. And they were not hiding anymore. While the world stared upward in terror, scientists uncovered another strange fact. Every major communication system on Earth was glitching. Radio waves were bending around the alien shapes like water flowing around stone. Communications fell silent. Satellite networks dropped one by one. But the alien ships did not attack. Not yet. They floated in the sky like dark watchers, waiting for something. Mara rushed back inside and pulled up her data again. The ground pulses had grown stronger. It almost felt like the planet was waking up. Or trying to. Before she could understand the meaning, an alert popped up on her screen. It was a message, sent from an unknown location, encrypted with technology she had never seen. She almost ignored it, but then she noticed the signature at the end. Human origin, classified, centuries old. Her hands shook as she opened the file. Inside were ancient star maps, diagrams of Earth's magnetic field, and strange symbols that matched no human language. In the center of the file was a sentence translated into modern English. When the enemy returns, command the earth to rise. Mara collapsed into her chair. Humanity had known about this threat long ago. Someone, or something, had left this message for a future generation. She clicked play on the last audio file. A calm voice spoke, older than history itself. The earth is not only a home. It is a weapon. When darkness descends, humanity must awaken it. She replayed the words again and again. A weapon. Earth was a weapon. Was that what the message meant? Outside, thunder echoed, but it wasn't weather. It was the alien ship's shifting formation, creating a giant circle over the planet. The sky darkened as their shadows overlapped, stretching from horizon to horizon. The air vibrated. A deep hum rolled across continents. People screamed. Sirens wailed. The world was seconds from collapse. Mara grabbed her radio, even though she knew it barely worked, and whispered. "We have to follow the command. We have to do it before they strike." The last thing she saw before the power died completely was the alien circle tightening above the earth, their ship lights glowing red like burning eyes. The world held its breath. And the message repeated one final time, echoing across every speaker, every screen, every corner of the planet. Humanity, command the earth to rise. The world was quiet for only 1 second. One small second where every human heart forgot how to beat. Then the sky broke open. The burning streaks that people had mistaken for meteors suddenly slowed down, almost as if they were breathing. The flames around them dimmed, revealing dark metal surfaces shaped like blades cutting through the night. Each ship was long, black, sharp, and silent, so silent that the air around them felt wrong, like sound was scared to exist near them. In every major city, people ran outside and pointed at the sky. They screamed, but their voices were swallowed by the strange silence. Even dogs stopped barking. Birds fled in giant flocks. The world felt like it had stepped into someone else's nightmare. Mara watched the nearest ship pass directly above the mountain station. It moved like a shadow sliding over glass. No engines. No lights. No sound. Just a huge, dark shape that belonged to a place far away from human understanding. She whispered to herself, "They're scanning us. They're looking for something." She didn't know how she knew, but she felt it, deep in her chest. Down in the cities, traffic stopped. People abandoned their cars. Soldiers looked up helplessly as their weapons locked up, refusing to fire. Tanks shut down. Drones fell from the sky. Every engine that pointed upward died instantly, like someone had flicked a switch. Panic spread fast. But the alien ships still did nothing. They simply hovered. Waiting. Watching. Listening. In Washington, the president tried to speak to the nation, but every broadcast died after 3 seconds. The aliens were blocking all communication. Even emergency radios turned into static. Mara ran to her backup computer, one of the oldest in the station, so old it had no wireless chips, no GPS, no modern systems that could be hacked. It was nothing but metal and wires. She hoped the aliens couldn't control it. It flickered, buzzed, then came to life. She quickly opened the ancient star map file again. The strange symbols floated across the screen. She zoomed into one of them, trying to match it with the pattern in the sky. Her eyes widened. The aliens' formation wasn't random. They had formed the exact same circle shown in the ancient star map, the circle of extractors. A deadly symbol used by species that harvested the cores of planets. "They want Earth's core," Mara whispered. "They want our planet alive." She pressed play again on the old voice message. "When darkness descends, humanity must awaken it." Her hands shook. The message was clear now. The aliens weren't here for humans. They weren't here to talk. They were here to steal the heart of the Earth. And something inside Earth was reacting. The ground vibrated again beneath the research station, just a small tremble, but steady. A pattern. A rhythm. Almost a communication. It was like the planet itself was answering the threat. Then, the first alien ship made a sound. A low hum. Soft at first, then louder, until the air around it began to distort. Windows cracked in every building below. Pavement split. The ship pointed a glowing beam down at the ground. In Tokyo, the beam hit the pavement and created a perfect, deep circle, like it marked a spot. In London, another ship did the same. In Cairo. In New Delhi. In Sao Paulo. In New York. Dozens of giant circles burned into the earth in perfect synchronization. People ran. Cars crashed. The world became chaos. Mara's computer suddenly received a weak signal, someone trying to contact her. She answered immediately. A shaky voice came through, filled with fear. Mara, this is Commander Reeve. We lost every system. Everything. And these things, they're drilling. They're not firing weapons, they're drilling into the ground. Mara looked at the ancient map again. They're looking for the activation points, she said. Activation points? Reeve asked. She hesitated. This secret was older than all human nations, older than history, older than memory. Earth isn't what we think, Mara whispered. It was built. Built to defend us. Another tremor shook the station. The ground groaned like something huge was moving under the crust. Reeve's voice trembled. Mara, something is rising from below the Pacific. Our instruments picked up a mass the size of a city. Her breath caught. It's starting, she said. Suddenly, the alien ships glowed bright red. Their hum increased. The circle above Earth tightened. They were preparing a strike. A massive one. People screamed as the sky turned dark red, clouds twisting like they were on fire. In the research station, lights flickered. Dust fell from the ceiling. Mara grabbed her old radio and shouted into it. We have to activate the command. If we don't, they'll take the core. Earth will die. Reeve tried to answer, but the signal cut out. All screens everywhere turned white. A single message flashed again. Humanity, command the Earth to rise. This time, the voice shaking the world was not calm. Not patient. It sounded scared. As if Earth itself was begging for help. The alien ships pointed their beams directly downward. A countdown appeared on every screen. 10. 9. 8. Mara ran outside, screaming for the world to act. Across the planet, billions stared at the glowing numbers in horror. 7. 6. 5. The sky darkened. The air vibrated. The alien circle began to pulse with deadly energy. 4. 3. The ground shook violently, something huge was moving beneath the surface. Mara looked up at the burning sky and whispered. Please, wake up. 2. 1. The world braced for destruction. But before the countdown ended, the earth roared. The roar of the earth was unlike anything humans had ever heard. It was not the sound of an earthquake, not the crash of mountains, not the shifting of oceans. It was deeper, older, and alive. It felt like the planet was breathing after thousands of years. The alien countdown stopped instantly. Their ships froze mid-air, as if shocked by what they heard. Mara held the railing outside the station as the whole mountain shook beneath her feet. Rocks tumbled down the slopes. Snow cracked open in long lines. The sky flickered with blue sparks, spreading like lightning veins across the clouds. Deep below the surface, something massive was moving, and rising. From the Pacific Ocean, a huge column of water shot upward, taller than skyscrapers. The sea boiled around it, glowing blue from the light rising below. News cameras caught the scene, though their signals were weak. The world saw it at the same time. A giant metallic structure was pushing up from the depths of the ocean. People screamed. Ships fled. Animals ran inland. The alien fleet shifted into a new formation, one Mara had seen in the ancient files. A containment pattern. They wanted to stop whatever was waking up. Mara opened the ancient star map again. Her heart raced. The symbols were not random. They were a warning. A warning sent across time. She clicked on the oldest file in the archive. A hologram appeared, faded, flickering, almost erased by time. It showed a group of strange human-like figures standing in a dark hall. They wore armor made of silver and black, and their eyes glowed like stars. They were tall, powerful, and not like modern humans. They belonged to the ancient past, a past no one remembered. A voice played slowly, deep and calm. If the extractors return, activate the Rise protocol. Mara leaned closer. Command the Earth to rise. It will answer. The hologram faded, leaving Mara in silence. She whispered, Earth is a machine. Her voice trembled. A machine built by humans long before our time. It explained everything. The pulses. The activation points. The ancient message. The structures rising from the ocean. Earth was not only a planet. It was a shield. A weapon. A guardian. The alien extractors knew this. That was why they came. They wanted to stop Earth from waking, to break the defenses before they activated. The ground shook again, harder this time. Giant cracks opened on the ocean floor. Light burst out, bright and blue, like energy flowing through the veins of the planet. The alien ships released a new wave of energy beams. They aimed directly at the rising structure in the Pacific. The beams struck, shaking the sea, but the structure continued to rise, glowing brighter every second. In the control rooms around the world, scientists shouted over failing systems. We're reading massive energy from the core. It's impossible. Something is turning on. What is that thing in the ocean? Mara didn't have answers. Not all of them. But she knew one thing. If humanity didn't activate the command, Earth would be destroyed before it fully woke. She ran back inside to her old radio. Using the surviving channels, she sent a message to anyone who could hear her. This is Mara Lee, Earth is activating an old defense system. We must help it. The command is real. Say it. Say the words. Static answered at first. Then, a voice cut through the noise, Commander Reeve. Mara, we see it. Something is rising from the ocean. Our entire fleet is offline. We can't fight them. You don't have to fight them, she replied. Earth will fight if we just activate the command. Reeve hesitated. You're asking the whole world to speak a phrase. Yes, Mara said. It's the only way. Another roar erupted from beneath the planet. The alien ships began charging weapons. This time, the glow beneath them was violent, bright red and pulsing with deadly energy. They were preparing to fire. Mara, Reeve said, voice tight, if we don't do something now, they'll destroy whatever is rising. Mara looked at the sky. The alien ships were lining up, forming a perfect firing ring. She closed her eyes, took a breath, and whispered into the radio. Then we activate it. Now. Commander Reeve understood. His voice hardened with determination. We'll broadcast your message across every remaining channel. Mara heard static, then a faint hum as emergency systems connected. A moment later, every working speaker, radio, and device across the world played Reeve's voice. Humanity, repeat after me. Command the Earth to rise. For a moment, there was only silence. A long, terrifying silence. Then, from a small home in India, a child repeated the words. From a hospital in Mexico, a nurse whispered it. From a broken street in Egypt, an old man shouted it. From a bunker in France, soldiers said it in unison. From rooftops, from shelters, from mountains. Millions of voices spoke. Then billions. Earth, rise. The alien fleet fired. Red beams shot toward the ocean like burning spears. But before they hit, the Earth answered. The sky exploded with blue light. A shockwave burst upward from the ocean, striking the alien circle. Their beams shattered like glass. Their ships shook violently, scattering out of formation. And from the ocean rose something even greater. A gigantic black and silver ship, ancient and powerful, its engines burning with blue fire. Mara gasped. The Night Fleet. The weapon of ancient humanity. Had awakened. The sea exploded with blue light as the giant ship rose higher and higher, water falling from its shining black hull like a waterfall of stars. It was not shaped like modern human ships. It looked older, stronger, built for a war far beyond anything humanity had ever seen. Its surface was covered in ancient symbols, symbols identical to the ones in Mara's files. The world watched in silence. Every camera on Earth tried to capture the moment, though most signals flickered and died from the energy storm rising out of the ocean. People stared at their screens in disbelief. Something older than history, something built by humans long before recorded time, was rising again. Above the ocean, the alien extractor fleet fired again. Red beams hit the water, hissing and boiling it. But the beams didn't reach the rising ship. A blue shield glowed around it, absorbing every hit as if the weapons were nothing more than sparks. Mara stared at the glowing figure of the ancient ship and whispered, "It's alive. It's answering us." The ship flashed once, bright enough to turn night into day. Then more shapes began to rise behind it. 2 massive wings of light broke the water. Then 3 more. 5. 10. One by one, more ships rose from the deep. All black. All glowing blue. All silent. The Night Fleet had awakened. For a moment, neither humans nor aliens moved. Time itself held its breath. Then the lead ship, the largest, with 4 long, glowing fins, tilted its nose upward and locked onto the alien circle above. Its engines roared, shaking the atmosphere like thunder tearing open the sky. It launched. Like a spear of light. Like anger turned into metal. The Night Fleet shot into the sky with impossible speed, leaving behind a glowing trail that lit the clouds blue. Every alien ship turned to stop it, but they were too slow. The lead Night Fleet ship slammed into the center of the alien ring, its shield tearing through enemy hulls like paper. The explosion lit up half the sky. Cities miles away saw the shockwave. The alien circle shattered apart. Ships spiraled out of control, crashing into each other. Their red energy beams flickered and died. Mara grabbed the railing outside her station to avoid falling as a wave of heat swept across the mountain. "It's fighting for us," she whispered. "It remembers." Above the clouds, the battle became a storm of color. Blue beams from the Night Fleet cut through alien metal, slicing ships in half with perfect accuracy. Alien vessels fired back, but their beams scattered against the ancient shields, breaking apart into harmless red sparks. Commander Reeve, watching from an airbase with powerless jets around him, whispered, This is beyond anything we've ever seen." His officers stared at the sky like children watching gods fight. Reeve clenched his fists. "They're protecting us. They're protecting Earth." But the battle was far from over. The alien ships reorganized. Dozens of surviving vessels formed tight clusters, spinning and shifting into patterns not seen before. Their formation looked like a dark, rotating flower in the sky, each petal aiming inward. Mara quickly opened her files. Her eyes widened as she matched the alien shape with a symbol in the ancient database. No, no, no. It was the extractor death spiral. A maneuver used to destroy planets from orbit. If they completed it, Earth would be torn apart. High above, the Night Fleet leader seemed to recognize the pattern as well. Its engines flared brighter, shifting to a deeper blue. 6 smaller ships flew behind it, forming a V-shape. They moved with perfect precision, like one mind guiding them. Reeve whispered, "They're preparing a counterattack." The alien spiral charged up. Red energy crackled around it like a storm ready to strike. Mara's heart raced. Come on, stop them." At the last moment, the Night Fleet leader fired something no human had ever seen. A pulse of blue energy shot from the front of the ship, but it didn't explode. Instead, it spread outward like a ripple on water, passing quietly through every alien ship in the spiral. For 3 seconds, nothing happened. Then every alien ship shut down. Lights dimmed. Weapons shut off. Engines died. The entire spiral folded inward like a flower closing at night. Then the ships fell. Thousands of tons of alien metal dropped from the sky like dead giants, crashing into the ocean, sinking into the deep where they would never rise again. The Night Fleet had won the second phase. But the sky was not quiet yet. At the edge of Earth's orbit, a massive shadow appeared. Bigger than any ship seen so far. Longer than cities. Darker than night. The alien flagship. The true threat. The one the others were protecting. Its first roar shook the atmosphere. Even the Night Fleet paused, as if recognizing an old enemy. Mara felt cold fear crawl up her spine. "This is it," she whispered. "The final battle." The Night Fleet repositioned. Its ancient engines glowed brighter, preparing for the fight humanity could never win alone. Reeve whispered into the silent airbase. Earth called them, and now they're ready. The alien flagship charged its weapon. The Night Fleet answered with rising blue flames. The sky trembled between them. Darkness and light. Past and present. Humanity watched. Hoping. Praying. The final clash was seconds away. The alien flagship moved slowly at first, too slowly. But every second, it grew larger in the sky. Its shadow stretched across oceans, mountains, entire nations. People looked up and felt the air turn heavy, as if the planet itself was afraid. It was not a ship. It was a monster made of metal. Long, dark, and covered in red symbols that pulsed like angry hearts. Lightning crawled across its armor. And at its center, a giant burning eye opened, aiming at Earth. Mara stared at it from the mountain station. She whispered, "That thing could destroy everything." Commander Reeve watched from the airbase, powerless. His voice cracked. "If that weapon fires, Earth won't survive." But the Night Fleet did not run. They rose higher instead, forming a wall of blue light between Earth and the flagship. The ancient leadership moved to the front, glowing brighter than ever before. Mara felt the truth hit her like a storm. "They're not protecting themselves," she said. "They're protecting us." The alien flagship began to charge. The glowing eye at its center spun faster, pulling red energy inward like a vortex. Clouds above Earth twisted into a spiral, pulled by the massive gravitational field. Lightning split the sky. Winds howled. The oceans lifted into giant waves. People clung to buildings. Sirens wailed across cities. Animals fled inland. The world shook from the pressure of the weapon forming above. The Night Fleet leader flashed its lights, blue symbols dancing along its surface. It was calling the other ships. Telling them what to do. 6 Night Fleet ships flew forward, surrounding the leader in a perfect formation. Mara recognized the pattern in the old star map. No way. They're using the celestial lock. It was a maneuver meant to freeze enemy superweapons by trapping them in a dimensional cage. But no human had ever seen it used. And the flagship was far stronger than any ship in those old files. Commander Reeve whispered, "Can they stop it?" Mara closed her eyes. "I don't know, but they're trying." The alien flagship fired. A gigantic red beam tore through the sky, wide enough to swallow mountains, powerful enough to rip apart the crust. Trees bent sideways. Buildings shook. Birds fell from the air. The world screamed as the beam came down like the fist of a god. But before it hit, the night fleet moved. The 6 blue ships locked into place around the leader. Their lights synced. Their engines roared so loudly that the sound reached the ground like thunder rolling across continents. A blue pulse burst from the center. The night fleet's shield caught the red beam. And the world held its breath. The sky turned purple where the two forces collided. Blue sparks shot in every direction. Red lightning exploded across the clouds. The atmosphere shook like a drum being hit by giants. The night fleet strained. Their shields bent inward under the pressure. Cracks of red energy slipped through. One of the ships on the right flickered, its lights dimming. Mara screamed, "Hold on, hold on." But the ship exploded. A ball of blue fire vanished into the air. The night fleet formation broke for a second. The red beam pushed harder, slamming into the remaining shields. The leader ship took the full weight, its hull burning bright as white cracks crawled across it. On the ground, people cried out. Soldiers dropped their weapons and prayed. Families held each other as windows shattered. Humanity watched its protectors die. Commander Reeve slammed his fist on the table. "Come on. Come on. Don't break." The night fleet responded. The 5 remaining ships moved tighter, surrounding the leader again. Their lights glowed brighter than anything seen in the sky before. Blue energy pulsed from them like the heartbeat of a living star. Then, something unexpected happened. From deep below the earth, another roar echoed. Stronger. Louder. Full of power. Blue light erupted from the cracks in the crust. Mountains lit up. Rivers glowed. The oceans sparked. The entire planet seemed to wake with ancient fire. Mara fell to her knees as the realization hit her. Earth is helping them, it's fighting back. The blue energy shot upward, flowing into the lead night fleet ship. Its cracked hull repaired itself. Its lights turned blindingly bright. Its engines burned with fire hotter than the sun. The night fleet leader surged forward. Its entire body became a spear of blue light. It smashed into the red beam. And tore straight through. The red beam shattered. The alien flagship recoiled, its burning eye flickering in fear for the first time. The night fleet did not stop. They followed the leader into the heart of the flagship. The sky shook. A massive flash filled the heavens, blue and red spiraling together, exploding in silence. Then the flagship split in half. Its giant body broke apart like stone crumbling into dust. The pieces fell away into space, glowing red as they drifted into darkness. The night fleet floated in silence. Then, slowly, one by one, their lights brightened again. Humanity survived. Commander Reeve exhaled in shock. They did it. They actually did it. Mara stared at the sky with tears in her eyes. They saved us, after all this time. The clouds parted as the night fleet descended, glowing softly, like guardians returning home after a long war. Every screen on Earth suddenly lit up with one final message, this time written in the same ancient symbols as the star map. It translated into simple English. Humanity has risen. This is only the beginning. Mara whispered, the beginning of what? No one knew. But one thing was clear. Earth was awake now. The night fleet was alive. And humanity. was no longer alone.